Hello again, my DIY loving friends. I'm Sarah, and this is Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. Today, we're diving into some stunning DIYs that'll make your home look like $1,000,000 without spending a fortune. So what are we waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this DIY, I've got some of these rope or chain silicone molds from Amazon, which I will link for you below. I'm using my larger size hot glue gun to fill the molds with glue, which will give me some flexible rope-looking glue pieces. I made 6 of them all together for my purposes. I want to give those hot glue ropes a base color, so I'm using this apple barrel matte acrylic paint in the color khaki, which I will link for you below. I ended up doing 2 coats on each of the ropes so that the glue is completely covered on the front and on the sides, but I'm not worried about the back because no one's going to see that. I've got these 2 bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use both in this project, but on one of the cutting boards and just on one side of that cutting board, I'm using this small screwdriver to scuff and scratch up the top surface just on that one side. That'll be the top visible part of the project, and I really want it to be beat up and look more old and just antiqued and rustic looking. Using some folk art antique wax, which I will link for you below, and a chip brush, I'm going to paint both cutting boards thoroughly on both sides and then also around the visible edges of both of those cutting boards. I use a dry paper towel to wipe away the excess wax and help give them both a more natural, darker wood look as opposed to a bamboo look. The antique wax is a great tool to use for that. I've got 4 of these small wood knobs in my stash, but I will link something similar for you below. And in a pinch, you could also use some large wood beads from Dollar Tree for this instead. I am painting the 4 knobs with the antique wax to match the bamboo cutting boards. We'll be using the knobs as feet for the project and to give it some height. Then I grab some more of that apple barrel khaki color, and I'm using a dry brush to distress paint the dry cutting board over the antique wax to give them a more like beat up antique-y kind of a look. I ended up switching to a small fan brush because I like the way it kind of feathered the paint on and made it more distressed looking. I did that same technique on the wood knobs so that they'd be a similar color to the cutting boards. Once the glue ropes had dried, I did the same kind of thing, but in reverse on those. I'm using a chip brush to distress paint over the khaki paint with the antique wax to darken them up and make them actually a little bit more wood looking, rather than just some ropes made out of hot glue. And I think they shaped up pretty nicely. I'm going to attach the 2 cutting boards together, but I want some space between them. So with the scraped up top side of the cutting board as the top, I attach 3 tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree onto the middle of the bottom cutting board with some wood glue. Then I add more wood glue to the tops of the blocks and attach my top cutting board with the scratched up distressed side facing up and allow the 2 cutting boards to fully dry. Once the 2 cutting boards were fully attached together, I want to attach all my hot glue faux rope pieces around the space that's between the 2 boards. And I'm using more hot glue to do this. There were some areas where I could bend the hot glue rope around the corners because it's flexible and I could attach it that way. But in the areas where I needed to fill in a smaller piece of hot glue rope to attach 2 longer pieces together, I simply just trimmed shorter pieces of the rope to fit in those spaces. And all in all, they didn't fit or look perfect, but it's kind of a rustic, old, imperfect look anyway, so no worries, it will all work out in the end. After the glue rope was all attached, I wasn't loving how the top of the rope looked, so I decided to cover it with something. I'm using these craft paper straws, which I will link for you below, but you could also use wood dowels like the kind you get at Dollar Tree. That would work just fine. I'm painting the craft paper straws with the antique wax to darken the color and make them blend better with all of the other elements of the project. I also grabbed 8 of these small wood half rounds because the straws need something to hide their ends because they are paper straws and the ends look like paper straws. So we'll use the half rounds as caps for them over the opening. But meanwhile, I paint them all with some more antique wax to better blend in with all of those other elements. I need to line the top of all of my hot glue rope pieces with one of our painted straws. So using some hot glue, I start attaching straws above the ropes to hide the edge where the rope attaches to the cutting board. And at the corners of all the straws, I want to cover the hole in the straw. So I cap them with one of the painted wood half rounds, creating a design element with 2 half rounds facing each other on each corner. This design was kind of out of necessity to close those holes in the straws, and I just came up with it on the fly, and I decided to go with it, and you're coming along for the ride. I did have to patch up the 2 long sides of the cutting board because the straws were not long enough to reach from corner to corner, so I cut a small piece of straw on both sides, and I attached to the longer straw with the hot glue, capping them each with a half round on the end. Lastly, I used some hot glue to attach the 4 feet to the bottom of the project. If you're worried about strength, you could use some E6000 to do this instead, but for the sake of the video, I used hot glue. And this is my antiqued wood and rope pedestal tray or riser. I just figured I'd call it something different for a change. I love the way this DIY turned out. So elegant, so rustically classic. It looks like a high-end, gorgeous dining table, but in miniature. This piece is so right up my alley, and I just hope you can see its potential too. For this DIY, we're using a grand total of 18 of the dreaded brown tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree for this project. First, we take 12 of them, and using some super glue wood glue, also from Dollar Tree, we're assembling them into 4 groups of 3 blocks, all in a U shape, as you can see right here. I grab 3 more of the blocks, and we're going to be attaching those together end to end, as I'm doing right here. We're left with 2 single blocks and 1 block that I've cut in half using my miter shears, which I'll link for you below. And I'm using a sanding sponge to sand the 2 single blocks and the half blocks. Next, I use the sanding sponge to sand the 3 block set, sanding all sides and the edges and the ends because I've really been liking the look of these brown blocks when they're sanded down and distressed. It is so much better than just the solid brown color. I also sand down all 4 of those U shapes the same way until all of my 18 blocks have been sanded down and distressed. To assemble, I glue one of the single blocks to the middle of the U shape when it's upside down, as you can see me doing right here. I used a ruler and a pencil to measure and find the middle of the second U shape, which I attach right side up to the top of that single block. I duplicate that piece with the last 2 U shapes and that last single block, and I'm creating 2 identical sides. Then I grab the 2 half block pieces and attach each one to the middle of the top U shape, as you see here, and yes, they very much look like stick figures. It is not just you. Once those 2 identical sides are dry, I attach the 3 block set to the middle of the bottom U shape, and I'm going to give that a few minutes for that glue to set up. Meanwhile, I've got this wood rectangle from a pack of rectangles from Dollar Tree, and I've mixed up equal parts hot water and instant coffee to coffee stain the wood rectangle to give it a very light brown stain, just a tiny bit darker than the natural wood tone. I am also mindful of staining the edges of the rectangle too, although I didn't love the way those edges looked even after they were stained. Turning my attention back to the blocks, I attach the final side to the 3-block set and then put it aside to fully dry. So as I said, I didn't like the edges of the wood rectangle, so I'm going to cover them and frame them in using these wood coffee stir sticks that I had already coffee stained from a previous project. But you could also use the craft sticks from Dollar Tree to do this as well. I trimmed them to fit around the rectangle like a frame. I had turned my rectangle upside down with the bottom side facing up. I also placed a heavy glass vase on top of it because, true to form, those Dollar Tree wood rectangles are not perfectly flat. I know, shocker. So I tried to add a little weight to help push it down straight. I use wood glue to attach the pieces of coffee stir sticks to the edges of the rectangle to frame it in. With the 2 tower block sides dry, also not a surprise that the tumbling tower blocks were not uniformly sized, so to make them all even height, I added some scrap pieces of craft stick to 2 of the tops of the blocks, so that when I added the rectangle on top, it would be straight and even. I used some wood glue to attach the rectangle to the block tops. And this is yet another brown tumbling tower block riser or pedestal. I think this DIY is truly unique looking. It's a little taller than most, but it's so different and original looking. I'm really pleased with how it came out. Hopefully you are too. Super easy and only using 18 tumbling tower blocks. For this DIY, I am sure a lot of you have seen these awesome mirrored tray-like frames at Dollar Tree. If not, you should run there and get some. I had bought 12 of these for my daughter Hunter's engagement party. These were the centerpieces for all the tables. It worked out beautifully, and no one could believe that those were a Dollar Tree item. I wanted this mirror tray to be gold trimmed. My first thought was to use this 1/4-inch gold tape to outline all the black trim areas on the face of the mirror, as well as the sides. However, I am not recommending this because this tape doesn't stay in place well, and you can see all of the tape layers. So I needed a plan B here, and I definitely had to give it a little bit of thought. I have these 4 wood balls in my stash, and I'll link some for you below, but the larger size Dollar Tree wood beads would also work for this. I'm using some folk art treasure gold paint to paint the balls, but they looked a little too green gold for me, and I wanted a brighter gold. So I did a second coat on them with this Deco Art metallic sheen in 24 karat, and that gold is a much brighter looking metallic gold. I like that much better. I also decided to spray paint the tray with some Rust-Oleum Bright Shiny Gold, which I will link for you below instead of the gold tape, and you can see here it looks so much better. I grabbed 8 tumbling tower blocks, and I used 2 on each of the corners of the back of the tray just to create 4 level surfaces in those corners of the back of the frame. I used hot glue to secure the blocks in place. I have a bunch of these large plastic crystal gemstones that you can buy in a pack at Dollar Tree. They are shaped like diamonds, but I'm using some hot glue on the flat side of the gem so that the pointy side is facing outwards. And then I'm attaching them to the sides of the frame all around the entire tray. So all 4 outside walls are covered by the gems. I attach the wood balls using some E6000 to the corners on the bottom of the tray on those tumbling tower blocks as feet for the tray and to give it some height. And this is my very glam gold and gemstone mirrored tray. And how perfect is this for a bathroom or perfume or jewelry? It's so glamorous. I'm telling you, I love this new item from Dollar Tree, and I'm sure we'll be finding new DIYs for this little gem for years to come. Thanks so much for sharing this creative journey with me. There's nothing more satisfying than creating a stunning piece of home decor that screams luxury. All thanks to our beloved Dollar Tree. If you love these DIYs, please don't forget to subscribe to Medicated Housewife DIY for more budget-friendly DIYs. Let me know in the comments which DIY was your favorite and why. You know I love hearing from all of you. And let me know what you'd like to see next. Until next time, remember that together we're making the world a more beautiful place, one DIY at a time.